Today we bring you some explosive news straight from behind the scenes of the league involving the Houston Texans. The board decided to act in the final moments of the transfer window and made a move that promises to shake up the team. Want to know who was involved and how this trade could impact our defense? Just before the end of the NFL transfer window in 2024, the Texans made a small but strategic change to their roster. We're talking about a move that promises to influence the defense and bring a new perspective to the season. The team decided to trade defensive tackle Khalil Davis to San Francisco for a 7th-round pick in the 2026 draft. This move obviously made room for the return of Mario Edwards Jr., who is back on the roster after serving a suspension. With this, the Texans maintain depth on defense, but in a way that provides even more dynamism and flexibility for the upcoming games. Davis wasn't just on the bench. He has played in all 9 games of the season so far, recording 9 tackles and 1 sack. He was a consistent presence on the field, but with Edwards back, management took the opportunity to make a smart trade and secure a future draft pick. This is the kind of move that shows planning and foresight. We'll continue with the news, but first, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and follow all the information so you won't miss any news about the Texans. There was an expectation that the Texans would go after a veteran wide receiver, especially after Stephon Diggs' injury, but the team decided to trust the current group, showing that they believe in the potential and chemistry of the players already present. Now, all attention is focused on the next matchup. The Texans are preparing for a tough duel against the Detroit Lions, which will take place in primetime. It will be a must-see game on Sunday Night Live on NBC or Peacock, with kickoff scheduled for 7:20 p.m. Houston time. The Houston Texans have yet to return to full strength, but they could gain a key piece of their defensive depth back in the trenches for Sunday's matchup against the Detroit Lions on NBC. Cornerback Jeff Okudah was cleared to return to practice for the first time in months on Monday. Here's what happened and his current status heading into Sunday night's game at NRG Stadium. Jeff Okudah injury update. Okudah, one of Houston's defensive additions this offseason, was placed on injured reserve after aggravating a hip injury against the Indianapolis Colts, serving as Houston's #1. Third cornerback, Okudah was used in multiple formations opposite Derek Stingley Jr. and in place of young Kamari Lassiter. Houston opted to activate Okudah's 21-day window to be restored to the active roster. The team will have until November 25 to decide whether to bring him back to the 53-man roster or return him to injured reserve for the remainder of the regular season. Jeff Okudah stats selected by the Lions out of Ohio State in 2020, the former #1. Third overall pick recorded just 1 tackle before being placed on IR in Week 1. A former All-American, Okudah played in 13 games last season for the Atlanta Falcons and had 44 tackles and 3 pass deflections. If you are a big fan of the Houston TX and don't want to miss any news about the team, subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much.